Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to make and upload a thumbnail just using your phone. So the apps I'm going to be using for this video is going to be Over, Fonto, and YouTube Studio. So these are the only apps I'm actually going to be using and that you'll probably need. Now first off, disclaimer, obviously you can use any thumbnail making app, but for this tutorial I'm going to be using these apps. So yeah, this is not like set in stone the only apps that you can use for making a thumbnail. These are just my favorites. So for the editing part and making the thumbnail, we're going to be using these two apps, and for the uploading of the thumbnail, we're going to be using the YouTube Studio app. I do want to mention for the making of the thumbnails, like I said, I'm going to be using these apps, but I do have a bunch of tutorials on thumbnails and tips and tricks for thumbnails, all that kind of stuff. So I'll have a playlist in the description box as well. It's on the eye up top for you guys to go check out. So this playlist has a bunch of videos about thumbnails. Maybe there's something there that you might be interested in, so if you want to check that playlist out, it's in the cards up top. Also, one very important thing, this is probably the biggest thing that you need to know right now. If you're here for how to upload the thumbnail, and if you go to the uploading part of this video, I'll have a timestamp. You'll see like I just uploaded and it's fine, but in my last video that I did on this, every second comment was someone commenting saying it tells them to go to a computer to verify, and therefore they cannot add a thumbnail. The only reason that will be said is if your channel isn't verified, so you need a verified YouTube channel in order to be able to upload a thumbnail to your video. It's just a requirement that YouTube has. So I have a video in the cards up top for you guys to go check out. It is how to verify your YouTube channel using your phone. So if your channel isn't verified, I highly recommend doing that first. Otherwise, you won't be able to upload a thumbnail and it will just give you problems and you won't be able to do it. So that is pretty much all the disclaimers, because like I said, I have made a video on this before and there were a lot of comments about people not getting it right or anything. So that is the only reasons that I can come up with why you won't be able to do the things in this tutorial. But okay, let's move on. Let's start with how to make the thumbnail. So I'm going to be switching between these two apps a lot. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is Over. So Over I usually use when I want to make sure a photo is the right size for a YouTube thumbnail. So I'm going to click on this plus button here, click on transparent. You can use any of these colors really. Then you're going to want to scroll here until you see the one that says YouTube thumbnail, and then click on the correction mark up here. Okay, so now we have our blank canvas, and now I'm going to import an image that I want for my thumbnail. So I say I want this image to be my thumbnail. I can just resize it and make sure it fits in that box for a thumbnail. So now I don't have to worry about a part of the image being cropped off or anything. So that is how I usually make sure an image is the right size. And usually I would just then export this image and edit the rest in Fonto. But if you're interested in only using Over, it does have some cool capabilities as well. So I'm going to pretend this thumbnail that I'm making is for a welcome to my channel video. So I'm going to add text here real quick and just say welcome, and then you have a bunch of fonts here. So you do need a paid version for some of these fonts. Others are free. They have some very beautiful fonts here truly, but they are a bit limited on fonts, I have to say. So that's why I usually rather do the text part of my videos on Fonto, because you can import your own fonts in Fonto. But let's just go with this font for now. Gonna resize it. Also in Over, if you go and edit this image, you see they have some cool filters here as well. If you want a cool filter over your thumbnail, they have a few cool ones. A few are free and a few you need to pay for, so it just depends on what you want your thumbnail to look like. And then there are just a lot of other things that you can play around with in Over. So how to add different graphic shapes, add other images over your image that's already in here, all that fun stuff. So I really recommend Over. It's a very nice app. But now let's get to Fonto. So I'm going to go into Fonto, and the first thing I just want to share with you guys, so if you don't want your thumbnail to be like that type of photo that I just showed you, and you kind of want like a plain background, I'll show you an example of other type of thumbnail that you maybe want on your videos. So if you just want a plain background for your thumbnail, you can go here on this camera icon down here, select plain image, and then you can choose either one of these. It doesn't really matter. Then to make it the right size, you're going to go up here, tap on that, click on custom, and type in 1280 for the width and 720 for the height. So that is the YouTube thumbnail size. So now we have our canvas here, the right size, and then you can go to color here. So here are a few things you can do. You can either just choose one of these colors and go with whatever you chose, or you can go ahead and make a color pattern. So I'm gonna click here on this one that says empty and then choose a different color. Then you can go with this one, a different color, and you can see it makes that kind of ombre effect. And you can also go ahead and edit this by clicking here on vertical, and then you have other options. So you can go horizontal or blocks. So you have a bunch of options here. And then once you're done, you can click on apply, and then you can go up here and click on use. So now also what you can do once you have a plain image is add other images. So say you want to cut it of yourself, or just like maybe an iPhone or something coming into your thumbnail, you can go to these three lines down here and click on add image, and then you can add whichever image you want to your thumbnail. You can also go here and click on add item, and then they have a bunch of shapes here that you can add to your thumbnails, speech boxes, all that kind of stuff if you want to make that type of thumbnail. So it's just a different type if you want to. But now let's get back to the image that we were previously editing. So I'm gonna go here and select photo albums, and then I'm gonna import my photo. Fonto also has some filters here that you can choose from. For the longest time, I always used this filter here, fade, over my videos. I really still like this filter. I think it is just a very nice filter, so I also recommend that. And now we're in Fonto. So the biggest thing about Fonto is adding text over your thumbnails. So I really like the text options that they give you. So you can click anywhere on the screen, and then it shows this thing here, and then tap on that to add text. So I'm just gonna type in welcome again, so we're still going with a welcome video. So the font that I'm using here is one of the fonts that I installed. So you see down here you have fonts, my fonts, and then this star, so you can favorite a font if you want to. They also have this button here, how to install fonts, so you can just follow those directions if you want to know how to install your own fonts. So these are all the fonts that I have downloaded, so you can just screenshot these if you're interested, because I always get a lot of questions about what type of fonts I use. My most used ones are the Sunrise International Demo one, I think, and this Observant one I use a lot. And then this font is not on here, but it's called Bernier. I also like that one a lot. But yeah, so that is all the fonts. They also have a lot of fonts pre-installed here that you can use if you don't want to use like your own fonts, you just want to use their fonts. They have so many to choose from as well. So now I have my text here. I'm just going to quickly change the font to this Sunrise International one. I just like it. And then we're going to go ahead and change the color and style of this. So you tap on your text and click on style here. And then we're going to go ahead and start styling this. So there are a few things you can do. This area for text is just to change the color of your text. So you can either just choose again like a solid color, or you can go down here to create color pattern like we did with the background. And you can just select which colors you want your text to be. And then you can go here to horizontal and then adjust like accordingly how you want to change this, but I'm just gonna go for now with a plain white text. Next up we have stroke here. So this is how you can add a stroke around your text. So usually I would go for a black stroke. You can also adjust the width of your stroke, so how big or small it is, and you can also adjust the alpha, which is the opacity. And then background here is adding like a solid background, so you can either use this area here for a background, or you can go to these three lines and go to the add item section and also use one of these shapes as a background. But to apply a background in this section, you just scroll all the way down until you see style here, and then you have all these options. So these ones are solid blocks, and these are kind of more like outlines that you can add. So here you can just see some of them. And if you tapped on background and you don't want one anymore, you can just lower the alpha and then it will remove it. So that's that. So these are the three sections for the color area. Now for the styling area, so tap on that. We have other options as well. So here you can add a shadow. So usually I again go with a black shadow. You can adjust the opacity, the alpha is the opacity, the amount of blur that it gives. You can adjust the how much it is from the text, in which direction it comes from, by pulling on the X and Y axes. And again, you can change the color, obviously. Then here is spacing. So here you can adjust the spacing. So this word sample is just because I don't have a second line of text. But if I did, I could adjust the line spacing here. So how far the two lines are from each other. And I can also adjust the letter spacing. So make it look a little more farther apart. Underline here is just underlining your text if you want to. And then lastly, we have blend. So you can blend in your text to a certain scene if you want to. So this is what that looks like. All that I think looks really cool. So you can also have a certain blend mode for this. Also, you see these 3 lines here. You can add a style. So I can save this style here. And whenever I want to, I can go back. So if I add like another piece of text that maybe says, I don't know, KW for my channel, click on done and go to style again, and then I can just tap on these 3 lines and then automatically get that style again without having to go through the entire process again. So that's how you kind of make presets of styles of text. Now, some other things that are cool on Fonto, you can also like just tilt your text, move it around by just tapping on these arrows if you want to be more precise. These arrows here are about like how it's centered. So this is centered like so, and that centers it like so, but I didn't want it centered, but you get what I mean. Then you also have the second area here. So curve here is if you want to have it curve like that a bit. 3D you need a full version for, but yeah, they have that option here. And also erase you also need the full version for, but you can also buy those if you want the full version. This option here is duplicate, so if you want to duplicate your text, and this icon here is for deleting your text. So that's the main gist of Fonto's text editing. I can also, like I said, go to these 3 lines here and add an image as well. So again, if I wanted to import like a PNG of an iPhone or something, I can add that in here as well, and then just like add in like a screenshot or something and put that beneath this image and then have that. So that is everything, I guess, for Fonto. Now just another thing I want to share with you guys. If you save this, click here, then you can tap here on save, and that will just save your image to your camera roll. And you can also click here on save project. So now it's not in your camera roll yet, but you can go here and say I'm going to reset this real quick. Then I can go here and select projects. And then I can keep on editing this. So if I'm not done editing yet and I just want to save the project, I can do that as well. Now I quickly will just want to go back to over here. So say I want my text to look like I edited it in Fonto, but I want to edit the rest of my thumbnail in over still. How you can do that is I'm going to go to Fonto real quick again. Go to this camera icon, click on plain images, tap on this, any one of these, and then we're going to go to color and bring the alpha all the way down and click on apply and then click on use. So real quick, I'm going to add my text again, and I'm just going to go to style real quick and go to these 3 lines and just choose this one again. So now I have my text here. I'm just going to place it like so in the middle. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to the export button, and I'm going to select save image as PNG. You want to say save image as PNG because if you're going to say save image, it's going to make this a white background, and we don't want any background on this. So save image as PNG, and now we're going to go back into over, click down here on image, and now you import that image that we just made in Fonto and just add it over here. So yeah, that's also something you could do if you want to edit between over and Fonto. So that's all for the making of the thumbnail. I think the most important thing to take away from this is the thumbnail size is 1280 by 720, otherwise it will crop your image weirdly. So that's the YouTube thumbnail size. Now for uploading your thumbnail. I'm going to go into this YouTube Studio app here. And as you can see, here are all my videos. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into a video and start to change the thumbnail. So I'm just going to be using this recent upload that I did as an example. I'm not going to actually post that thumbnail. But you'll see when you have your video uploaded, you have these 3 images here, which YouTube automatically generates. And then you'll have this option here, which says change. So I was being an idiot. Obviously, when you are actually adding the thumbnail for the first time, it won't say change. It will give you, as you can see on the screen, the option of custom thumbnail because you don't have a thumbnail yet. But if you had a thumbnail already, then it would say change. But yeah, you're gonna want to click on custom thumbnail, not change, because you don't have a thumbnail yet. So you're gonna tap on that, and again, if you don't have a verified YouTube channel, if you tap on this, it will just ask you to verify it on a computer. So click on change, and then just select your thumbnail, click on select, and then click on save, and then you're gonna be good and your thumbnail is gonna be on your video. So it's actually as easy as that, because you can't upload a YouTube thumbnail directly from the YouTube app. When you upload your video, you need to do it in the YouTube Studio app after the video is already uploaded. It's very tedious and annoying, but it's the only way that works. So if you upload your videos from your iPhone as well, upload the video using the YouTube app. So in the YouTube app, you just click down here and select upload your video, and when you're uploading your video, first put it to private, and then go to the YouTube Studio app, upload your thumbnail, and then make your video public. That's the only way, like I've said, to do this. The other way is a little more complicated, so I'm going to go into Safari real quick. You can use whatever web browser you have, and then I'm going to type in studio. Here you can see studio.youtube.com. Go to that website. If you've never been to this website, you're just gonna have to sign in first into your YouTube channel's email, and then just, if it brings up this, click on continue to studio, and then you're gonna want to go up here where it says create and select upload videos. Select the video you want to upload, and then it's going to start uploading, as you can see down here, and then you just want to click on upload thumbnail here, and then go to photo library and choose your image. So that's another way you can do it. It's just going to the YouTube Studio website instead of the app, because you can do then the upload and the thumbnail at the same time and not in different apps. So I hope that didn't confuse you guys too much, but I just wanted to give you guys all your options so you can choose which one works easier for you. I'm pretty sure this works easier, but it's just sometimes not that great to see like this version, desktop version, on your phone, because sometimes it just doesn't work great. But that's how it works. I hope you guys found this video helpful and you got like what I meant. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down below any questions you have for me. I really hope I could like put everything out there so you don't really have a lot of questions, but if you do have one, I will be happy to reply. Give this video a thumbs up if it did help, because that helps me a lot. Definitely subscribe by clicking on the icon of my channel on the screen. I'm trying to reach 50k and I really appreciate it. It really is the best way to support me. Click on my playlist to see all my other thumbnail apps and tutorials and things that I recommend. I'll have that playlist linked, as well as click on the video to my previously uploaded video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!